Welcome everyone, this is Ricardo. I spoke on the vehicle a while back and I want to speak on speed limit. Speed limit. Do you believe that you're rushing through life too fast? Do you believe you're taking too long? Or you think you're just taking precious time when there's certain things you can do? See, God has us in life where there's even a speed limit for us. There are a lot of people who are on the streets who go beyond the speed limit. There are people that go way below the speed limit. Sometimes we have like two different lanes and we want to get into another lane because the other lane is going too slow. And then the other lane ends up going slow and ends up stopping at certain times. Sometimes our life is like we have choices. We have choices, like two lanes will be the choices. And the one choice we make, we're like, man, you know what? I don't want to go on this route. I want to go a different route. What happens is sometimes you're going on another route. You have to start somewhere else, and you have to, it's like all the stuff that you learn from the other place, you have to kind of get detoured, and you have certain things that have happened to you where you're like, you know what, now that I have to go on this lane, and it's now I have to take some stops, I have to gather some things together, now I have to, it's like you're basically taking something that you're almost finished with, or at least halfway there with, and even if you're just beginning, you still have some stepping stones in that. But now you're trying to get off track and do something else. Now, I can understand if there's a lot of people who are, taking college courses or doing certain things as far as for school, and, people that are taking different technical projects and they're learning certain things. But the blessings of those who endure situations or endure things, the blessings of those who stay consistent and persistent, I spoke about that as well. But the blessing is that you have something completed. And once it's completed, that's something you can still utilize. If you don't want to utilize it now, you can utilize it because you already have it finished. You can utilize it later. And then you can still continue on with doing something else at the same time. When you try to multitask, sometimes that throws you off. When you try to switch lanes, sometimes that messes you up. Because, yes, there's a speed limit. You don't want to try to rush through life. Sometimes we try to rush through life, and the way that we rush, there's a consequence to it. You get a ticket. And a ticket means that you have to pay in the end, basically. So if you try to rush through your life, you're going to end up having to regret not being able to slow down and take in some things. Speed limit is important. You do not want to go slow, but you do not want to go fast. The speed limit is there to make sure you take your time and take your course and get to your destination the proper way. But when you go too slow, what's happening now is somebody else takes that, or basically it's like you have an event at a certain timing. Say you have to be there at an event probably like, okay, 7 o'clock. And you are going so slow that by the time you get to the event was only 1 hour, but you got there late. The event is over. You just missed the blessing. You just missed something that could have been helpful or beneficial. You wasted your time getting out there to the point where now the event is over. But what if you try to speed to the event and then you end up getting a ticket for it? You regret it. Sometimes we have to balance our life and how we take things to get to our destinations. We don't want to go too fast because we will regret it. You don't want to go too slow because what will happen is now you may miss it. But we have to be properly pacing ourselves. So the speed limit is important. God placed the speed limit in our lives, and He wants to make sure that we know what that speed limit is. He wants us to know exactly what type of pace we need to take. It's because also, if it was a race, what is it saying in the word is, the race is not given to the swift, but to the ones who endure. So it's got to be more of an endurance thing. If you're going to go to another state or another country or whatever area or whatever, when you're speeding, it could be detrimental. But when you are pacing, when you are allowing the car to, go through the journey, you're able to take pictures, you're able to get in a lot of things that you didn't know, you're able to see things you haven't seen, and even if you have seen them, you're able to revisit those things. Best thing to do is ask God, what is your speed limit? How fast do you want me to go? What speed do you want me to take? And allow me to take the proper speed. Because I don't want to go too fast in my life. and I don't want to go too slow. What I mean by going too slow, what if there's things that you need to do as far as like family wise, and then you don't do it, and then, you don't get a chance to do it because you took too long in doing it. That happens because guess what? Life is but a vapor. And because we only have 24 hours in a day, if you go too slow, there's going to be opportunities you miss. You can't just say, you know what, I'm going to do this later. Because you never may get that later. But you don't want to go too fast and then rush things and then you make a mistake and say, I thought I wanted, but I don't. The reason why you don't now is because you move too fast. The reason why we don't afterwards is because we move too fast. Because I can't say it for, just one person, but for everybody. Sometimes we move too fast, sometimes we move too slow. So prayer for a proper pace, for the speed limit that he has for us. You can go a little bit slower, you can go a little bit faster, but what is the roundabout? What do I need to do? How fast can I go? Because I can still speed a little bit and still take a good pace and still make it there. So I want to end with that. Again, my name is Ricardo. Know that God loves you and that I love you. You all take care and God bless.